Do it, man. Thanks for joining. This is I'm Breeze. This is the MMA Breeze. Before we get into any MMA talk, man, I grew up skateboarding, so I noticed you've been hanging out with Ryan Sheckler. I've always seen you putting a little bit of skateboarding up online. How did you link up with Ryan? Is that an old connection or is that something new?
Uh, we just got a lot of mutual friends, and my boy Bear and Big Boy was skating down there, and
Yeah.
kind of ran across him and at the Ruka Jimmy. He's coming in and messing around, and just a good dude, and kind of just linked up, wanted to make something happen, something fun, and I'm always down for a skate,
I hear you,
even
man.
even, even if it hasn't been a couple years, you know.
Yeah, man. I'm 27 right now, so I mean, I'm not on it as much as I used to be, but it's nice to get back on every now and then.
I'm
I
30, I'm 36, and I can still I can still go. You know.
Yeah, I've seen you getting some freaking air on the bowls and stuff, man. I'm very bad at transition and like half pipes, quarter pipes, and all that stuff. I'm more of like a street guy, rail guy. I used to always hit gaps, stair sets, not too many handrails, a couple board
Yeah,
slides, and but I love a box. After I got older, I started skating the box a little more, a little less falling and all that good stuff.
yeah,
But
gaps and stairs are no fun to fall on.
yeah,
There's no longevity in that.
no, there's not. I know your brother's a pro surfer, so have how long have you guys been on the boards? I mean, I know it's a lifestyle out there.
Yeah, I started skateboarding at a pretty early age, and then surfing. And I took up like junior high. Kind of like got more serious. I surfed early, but never like seriously until to junior high and high school and a little bit beyond. But then I kind of got I was wrestling in between. My parents kind of forced me to wrestle because I thought I'd get into drugs on the pleasure point and all that bad stuff. So surfing wasn't their priority.
Yeah, I
That is,
hear you.
but
That's
it
kind
worked.
of.
It worked out for me. It worked out for me to say the least.
I mean, I was listening to you talk about the stance, and I thought that was fascinating. How you were saying, you don't have a karate stance, you don't have a boxer stance, you have almost a surfing stance, and I think that was so fascinating because when I started wrestling in high school, my coach he was always breaking my balls like. Dan, you look like you're riding a skateboard, man. What are you doing? And so he would make me sit there and work on my wrestling stance and just shadow move. But yeah, I mean, I think that's so cool that you've come from a background of board sports and grappling. It's so synonymous to the things I love most in life. But how do you think? I know you mentioned skateboarding taught you how to deal with pain. I mean, obviously, I can understand that what you mean by that. You're falling all the time. How do you look at pain right now? Do you ever get scared in the octagon and getting hurt? I know skateboarding. You never really it's in the back of the mind, but how is it compared to fighting?
Um, it's it's very similar. It's like you have to get through the pain to kind of overcome and succeed and finish whatever you're doing. It's like if you want to complete certain things in skateboarding, you're gonna take a lot of diggers. You're gonna eat shit a lot,
Mhm.
um, and you got to keep climbing. You got to keep fighting back until
Mhm.
you. Same thing in fighting. It's just like it's a battle,
Mhm.
and you're gonna have to take your shots to give it back and to get through it. So yeah, there's a lot of similarities. Fighting is still hurts. Skateboarding still hurts,
Mhm.
but you got to put that in the back of your head, and you got to finish what you're doing.
What's
It
the
hurts. It hurts a little more. Hurts a little more these days.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt more. Like it hurts after the fact more.
Yeah,
Not,
no,
not
100%.
in the moment.
Almost nothing you feel in the moment, right? It's like you're going, and then once the adrenaline wears off and you kinda sit on the couch and chill, it's like everything smacks you right there, like, "Holy crap, my hip, my leg, should I do this again?"
The next,
But,
the next two bruises just don't go away these days.
yeah, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. I know, it's like I said, it's a lifestyle out there. Your brother's surfing. What do you prefer, surfing or skateboarding?
Um, I prefer. It just depends on the scenario. I
Mhm.
prefer skateboarding if it's anywhere fucking crowded.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. Like
No,
I
you're
just
good.
don't have the time and I don't have the patience to go deal with a bunch of idiots and surfing. It's just the hostility and the egos and just the people's wherewithal sometimes. It's just
Mhm.
I don't have time for it. I dealt with that. I fought through like people like that my whole high school and college life. But
Mhm.
these days I don't have time for like idiots in the water. So if I'm going out to like on a surf trip with a remote destination and beautiful waves with my friends, yeah, that's beautiful. I'll take that over skateboarding any day. But
Hmm.
to go surf in Malibu, to go surf at or anywhere down, especially down south, even Santa Cruz is just it's a headache too because you have the professionals who have achieved it and have made it, but Santa Cruz is a very content culture, and a lot of the guys never see too far above, and they have this, and then they start to gain this ego, and then they have this like localism on their spot because they haven't achieved anything, and so all they have to hold to is their little spot, and so it is that gives them their like sense of power and entitlement, and so they dick people around in the water, and so
Hmm.
when I come home to go surf in the water and like you see these little hometown little heroes or whatever they think they are, and then they give bad energy to some kook or some guy that's not really in the way, but just irritating them somehow just because they're small minded and insecure.
Hmm.
I'll make a point to yell at those people, those local little assholes.
Yeah, I've seen you
I just
say
I don't like it. I don't like
it.
it at all, and I don't like bad energy, and I hate little insecure little pricks that surf
Yeah,
in the water.
I mean, I've
Yeah,
seen.
sponsored had a little pro.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
I'll come in and I'll make a point to yell straight in their face.
yeah. Right on, man.
I deal with that.
I saw you in one interview it was a while back. I was trying to dig into your skateboarding, and I saw, it was like 2014, you were talking about growing up and how, you like to stick up against the bullies, and you like to do the right thing, and that's kind of what got you into some altercations. But I can relate. I felt like, I was always almost taking my friend's battle sometimes just because I wanted to do the right thing and stick up for them. How much did you get into things like that growing up, and what really led you to fighting? Was it that you just found it at an early age that you were good at it, you enjoyed it, or was it something else, just pure combat formalized sports?
Yeah. 1 second. My dog's just bitching. She wants to go outside.
No, you're good. I got one myself.
Yeah, they're a lot. This one's
You
this
have
one.
is it a beagle?
No, I got a Catahoula leopard dog. It's a pig hunting dog from Louisiana.
Oh, okay. Right on, right on. I saw some pictures of is it a girl?
Yeah, she's a
Okay,
girl.
I saw her hanging out with you in the ice bath. But yeah, man, I was just wondering, what really got you into fighting? Because it seems like you got into a little bit when you were younger, sticking up for your friends and whatnot, and doing what you got to do the right thing. Is it kind of something you found, outside of the gym, or is it something more, hey, wrestling led to this, and combat sports, jujitsu, and all that?
For me, I mean, it was early age. At like 6 years old, I started doing judo, and so that was like the first time I really kind of got out of the protection of my dad and my mom, and you played in sports and you always feel safe.
Hmm.
And then you got on that judo mat, got thrown on my head, and got fucking buried by some kid one time. It's like you feel helpless, and,
Hmm.
and like, but crying my eyes out, but I couldn't help but gravitate back towards that and overcome that obstacle. So that was the beginning of it, and that led to wrestling. Wrestling led to jujitsu. It just got more and more creative and more disciplined, and
Hmm.
I just kind of always been attracted to what scares me. I think that's what makes great people is people that live outside their comfort zone and chase their fear.
Hmm.
Wow, it's
No.
always been that way. And yeah, and then just fighting. It's like it always stemmed from all those kids. My friends, protecting my friends and my people. And
Hmm.
there's always a lot of idiots growing up. A lot of insecure idiots that attack for no reason, and
Hmm.
I feel like it's my business to attack back.
I love it. I love it, man. You're such an entertaining fighter. You're so well rounded. I mean, you're dangerous in any position. Obviously everybody's excited for your comeback. I mean, that you've let us know that, and I think the biggest question right now is, you're looking pretty lean from my perspective. Are you thinking of 185 again or 205?
I think 185 is most logical. I'm like, when I did the 205 thing, it's hard for me to
Yeah.
keep bulking up, and it's just like lifting weights and really pressing that angle is it's just not my style, and it kind of took away from my flow, my freedom in the
Hmm.
cage, um, And yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm eating everything I can and lifting every day, like, you know, all the time. And trying to maintain 220 was not easy. You know, I think I walked into the fight like 217.
You looked like a freaking monster when you came into that fight. I mean, it showed, like, your body, like the hard work you put in on the frame, that showed. But, I think it's exciting for you any weight class you go to. I'm gonna be tuning in. I saw Chael recently had a podcast wondering these things about you and where you're gonna return to, and how he could see either weight class. And one matchup he brought up was you rematching Chris Weidman. And I wanted to know what your thoughts were about that. I mean, does that get you anywhere, or do you think that puts you back in the mix at all? Or do you have a fight or a person in mind that you would prefer to go up with on your comeback?
Um, I don't see too many like, preferable matches. There's a few guys that that entertain me, but I'm pretty open.
Mhm.
I just want to be healthy, and or something pops up and that's appealing and sexy to me. It's like I'm not. I mean, I'm coming back to fucking not just to fight a fight. I want to go out there and I want to something that really appeals to me, something that's fun. I've done it. And so it's like I want to be healthy first of all, and that's been the biggest issue is my shoulder.
Mhm. What's
Uh,
wrong with your shoulder?
I had a labrum issue, labrum and
Oh,
rotator cuff, and it's just my right hook has been my equalizing shot for a long time, and I've lacked that for the last couple of years. I've had some deterioration, and I had surgery in the middle of COVID, and it's been hard. Shoulder surgeries. I've never really had a shoulder surgery, so
mhm. Well, I'm
the
getting ready
PT.
to have my first, so that's why I asked.
Make sure you get it right. Make sure you get it
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
It's a long process. You got to do a lot of PT and a lot of band work, and a lot of everything. So it's the recovery has not been easy, and I haven't been able to like rely on it.
mhm,
And so that's the biggest thing with me is like making sure my shoulder is there, and I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to come back compromised. I got too many other options to do things, and
mhm.
until I'm ready and 100% confident in my shoulder, then I'm going to start pressing the button,
Nice, right
pressing the
on.
gas. I'm getting there. I'm
Yeah,
finally. So I'm trying to.
good. Your
It's a delayed
Instagram looks like
delayed process, but I'm pushing it.
Yeah, it looks like, looks like you're going hard. But when I'm tuning into your page, it looks like you're doing ice baths, you're working out, like you seem on top of it. So I know a lot of people have been wondering, and we're pretty excited for you to come back. Speaking of the middleweight and light heavyweight option, we have something crazy going down, very soon with Israel moving up to face Jan. So what is your take on that matchup? And is he going up without bulking like you did? It's complete opposite.
Is he not bulking? He's not. I
No,
don't know.
he's gonna go in at his natural 180 whatever pounds frame. That's what he's come out and
He,
said.
he ain't naturally 180. That dude's big. I've seen him many times. He's just.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll be like at least 210, 215. But I would. I mean, I think Jan is he's awkward. He's awkward and he's very strong, but it's like I approached that fight so wrong. I think Israel is a very good opportunity to take this thing. I think he's more relaxed. I forced a takedown. I saw a fight with potentially John, and I just thought like, I want to make this fight easy. I know if I got him down to be over. I
Mhm,
just forced the issue, and I came out of that just juiced up my arms, and
mhm,
it fell to exhaustion. I was never that guy forcing a takedown, and I got it in my head about finishing it too early,
mhm.
and but I wasn't like the times I really stood with him. It's like I didn't really see like he's pretty visible, and he's I think Israel's going to be a little more sharp, a little faster, and to be able to hit his spots. Not saying Jan can't do it because he does have that awkward kind of weird style, like almost Bisbing-ish, where he's
Mhm.
like he's effective, he's awkward, but if you really are patient and see things like you get him, you pick him
Yeah.
apart. First fight with Bisbing, it's like I was everything was relaxed and I was so present. It was so easy, and I forced the issue again with him the second time, and that's where it got caught. So it's like I see the relaxedness of Israel and the confidence really kind of I think he's peaking and I think he'll take it.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be one for the books. So I know with him going up to light heavyweight, let's say he does stay at light heavyweight. What is your take of the middleweight division right now, and who do you see kind of stepping up for that vacant belt? Which two guys or one guy do you think is kind of in that conversation right now?
Um, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Whitaker has kind of done pretty decent for himself. He's had a nice little return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
There's
on
not
point.
a, I mean, like this, that, you know, I think it's up for I think it's up for grabs. I think there's a handful of guys that could all overtake each other.
Yeah.
No one really stands out. I think Israel really kind of stands out amongst everybody for now. But anybody could pop up soon. We'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. And I know, your longtime buddy DC has had his fair share of experience with John Jones, and now he's going to heavyweight. What do you make of that move? And do you see, he's been in and out of the media with his own hoopla, and he comes back and he wins a fight, and then he disappears and wins a fight, and then now he's had two controversial wins, and he's moving up to heavyweight. It's kind of hard for me personally to get behind it. I don't see him staying too active or holding it down in a dominant fashion like he used to be. What is your take of Jones right now, and what do you see for him in the next year or two?
Um, I don't know. Maybe John's a very special athlete and character. I don't know. He's controversial, but I think it's hard to take too much away from him, even though he's suspect testing and all that stuff. But he is a talent. He truly is a talent for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's been squeaking by the last few fights. He's done it, and he still has that the kind of champion's will to win. He's just a little more patient, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Waits long, but then he presses later. He takes some damage. Maybe heavyweight is his best transition. A lot of these guys are slower, and if he can adapt to the size and get the takedowns, and his speed and athleticism could transition really well. Heavyweights are, just not as movable, not as different, and that's why DC did so well. He's so athletic, and he could equalize everything with the wrestling. So when he got to heavyweight, he's just so much faster than these guys, and he can also, dictate the pace of the wrestling. And I think that's why he was so effective there.
And speaking of the AKA boys, I know Islam Makhachev has a fight coming up with Drew Dober. I just spoke with him the other day. How do you see that fight taking place? Do you see Islam going to take that belt following Khabib?
Islam is a dangerous man. He's very, very talented. I've been working with Islam a long time. I remember like when I first started working with him, he just popped up. Khabib brought him over, and I was using him. I think it was like back when I fought like Jacare in 2011. Like I was just messing around with him in the sparring room, and he's he caught me one time with like a head and arm throw. I was like, what the hell is this little kid doing? I was like, he's been sharp, and he's very, very tough for a long time. So
yeah, I'm excited. I think him and Drew is going to be a good one. I know that a lot of people are upset about the RDA one falling through, but while we're on the topic of lightweight and AKA, do you see Khabib actually making a comeback? I know Dana won't get off his back, but it doesn't seem like it's in the cards for him.
I don't know. I think it's got to be something really, really appealing to him, and someone's got to show themselves to separate themselves. To Khabib's got his family now. He's got a lot of things going on, and even more so than that, his loyalty with his brothers, like Islam, is like he wants to give him a path, and like to succeed and achieve his dreams. So I think that's got to play a role, and where he goes and what's going on. So Islam is a big fight for him. I think he's much more, he's much more well-rounded, and I think he can expose Dober in so many ways. He's got some great kicks, striking, and his grappling is far beyond. So I expect him to execute and find that route to victory, and then that will dictate. That'll push Khabib and him in the right direction of what happens. We'll see.
Absolutely. I know Javier has spoke on Khabib's training sessions, and I saw him say recently or semi-recently that Khabib's never lost a round in training, ever, 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 except to Islam Makhachev. Can you speak on how true that is? And if so, has he gone live with DC and gotten the better of him, or is it been a limited array of sparring partners for Khabib that he's been mauling?
I mean, come on. There's weight classes for a reason. Losing rounds to DC and myself is Khabib. Spars a lot of guys, and he crushes a lot of guys. in the 155, 170, and even some 85 pounders he would work with. But yeah, I mean he's won a lot of rounds, and Islam is they put a lot of hard rounds together. Stays
Yeah.
stays within the realms, and they push hard. So um, he's a bad man. They're both hard, and Javier just he likes to pump. He likes to pump,
Yeah.
but uh, he's but he's definitely he's the best to ever do it. And
I won't argue that.
Islam is pushing them all along the way. So I mean, I'm excited to see his upcoming.
Me too. Me too. Honestly, I think he needs. Should he get past Drew? I think he needs. If we can forget the whole top 10, let's just go to top 5. I think that's where he belongs. But this fight with Drew will tell us a little bit more too. You already know enough, but the rest of us can learn a little bit more. You said you got a lot going on right now, Luke, and you're not going to force a fight. What have you been up to lately? How's life been?
I mean, it's obviously there's a little bit of a climate problem right now. What's going on? And I am focused on trying to come back. I know I'm limited time in my time right now, and so I'm putting a lot of effort into healing and coming back. But I still have I had the opportunity to get involved in one of North America's like best education companies called Scholars, and growing that company and building education centers around the country here. We're big in Canada, but we've just kind of launched stateside, and so finding opportunities to kind of empower the youth really and build the next generation. So it's there's obviously a problem with schools right now, and we are a very COVID friendly organization where we we have 12 tables basically at school. We have like social distancing to the best
Mm-hmm.
of our knowledge. So it's like you have one teacher to 3 kids, and everyone's separated. So it's not like it's a friendly classroom for the climate, and it's nice to try to give kids and parents an outlet to put their kids in. So
Right
it's
on. Yeah, I
just
know.
making connections and helping grow the next generation.
Right on, man. That's freaking awesome. I know that's it's definitely in need right now with everything going on in the world. So props to you and people like you out there making a difference. Well,
Yeah.
we're very excited to see you back, Luke. If I'm ever in Cali, maybe I'll hit you up and you could direct me to the best skate spots. My twin brother just moved to La Jolla. He's out there now, and so he's looking for skate spots too. So maybe we'll pick your brain about that one day when I get out there and play a game of skate or something. But I appreciate you coming on, man. Are you good
Yeah.
at flat ground skate? How's your flat ground look?
Flat ground? Yeah. Yeah. I don't, flat ground is hurts,
Yeah,
and I'm more of like a surf style skater. I'd like to go big, hard, and fast, and
I
just
can
and it's
see it.
when you hit transitions as you get older, you know how to fall, and
Mhm.
there's always a way to fall.
Yeah,
Flat
absolutely.
ground, there's not a lot of ways to fall flat ground.
No, there's not. My brother used to laugh. Everybody would laugh at him because he would go hit like a little force there. We're warming up, and he would slip out and do like the most dramatic 3-flip roll every time he fell on the streets. But like you said, man, the vert guys, they look smooth with it. It's like they're just like laying down and sliding around, and
You
the
just
falls.
slide
Yeah,
down. Yeah,
exactly. And
you
I
know where
know
to.
Ryan Sheckler, you've been with him before I let you go. I remember I watched his show when I was younger, Life of Ryan, and he uh he had like a room like for MMA stuff. Like he was into it all the way back then. Have you talked to him at all about MMA, or do you know how big of a fan he is?
Yeah, no, he's definitely a fan. He really wanted to come in and test his skills, get in there when he gets healthy. So he's like, I really want to come, really want to come. Like, and I was like, yeah.
Come to
He's just
AKA?
not AK, but the Ruka gym here.
Okay.
He's down in San Clemente. So
Okay.
you know, down here, and we had a great thing down there, and a lot of good people. So I bounce around. AK is like it's not really there right now. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's the gym's
Well,
been closed, and
mhm.
Javier's in Russia most of the time.
Yeah.
DC's at the fights. Kane's retired. It's like I mean, it's hard, and you can't even really get in the gym these days up there. It's like we have a private thing here down at Ruka, and so it's hard to get in a lot of these gyms. And
Yeah.
nothing is what it used to be.
Yeah, I
But
know it's.
Florida's always open, so I'm gonna go out to Florida this week and
Are
get
you
back the guys over there and mix it back up. So I'll be
what would
transitioning, I think, more so back and forth from here and there.
okay? Are you going? What gym are you looking at down there? You have any guys in mind you want to work with?
I work with my team that I was with for 2 years. So with Henry Hooft and Greg Jones, Kami, and
Right.
Sanford. Sanford, my sponsor, hospital sponsor, they have built out a state of the art gym out there. Put
Sanford looks nice.
millions of dollars into our gym. And so
Yeah.
that is my world. And I'm gonna go back there and work with my guys.
Freaking sweet, man. I trained a little bit at Gym O in Gastonia, North Carolina, and Chris Weidman was popping in there. I haven't seen him yet, and he's come in a couple times, but yeah, I don't know if you know Impa. He was training out of there, and he just moved to Sanford, in Florida. So he's a good middleweight, and maybe you guys will connect. I'm sure if you're going back down there, but he's new to the gym, and I seen he's been working there with Robbie Lawler and some other guys, but. How have
Yeah.
you been? You said you're going to be commuting back and forth. How has all this COVID stuff affected you, other than obviously not being able to use your old AKA fellas as much as you used to? Have you been able to stay as active as you like and all that other good stuff? Has it got any mental aspects that's getting in the way?
I mean, eh, it's slim pickings, but we have fun. It's like I've worked with Perillo for a long time, and I do like his style. I mean, he's got a good perspective, and no matter what our past was, it's like we worked before that happened, and you got to let things go. So
Right.
it's been great. I really do appreciate the guy and enjoy our work. And my boy Chito is down there all the time, so me and Chito kind of feed off each other. And there's a lot of good guys that kind of come in and out. It's a
Yeah.
very it's a very well placed spot, and that you just get talent that comes from a lot of places. So you're always having people come in and out and be able to work with people, and a lot of good guys around. So I enjoy it there, and I'll be going back over there with my guys in Florida. I'll be going straight to the gut. I walk into a gym, and that's my home. Wherever I go, it's my home, and I'm gonna start owning it. And so
Fuck.
I'm looking forward to all the new guys that pop up in the gym, because
Hell
that's
yeah.
still my spot. Yeah, definitely.
All right,
Talk
man. Later.
till next time.
Till next time.